Hello guys, today we're going to find intercepts using tables. So just as a little recap, when you find the x-intercept is actually you're finding the x, so your y has to be 0. Same thing with the y-intercept. If you're finding the y-intercept, you want to know the y, so therefore the x is 0. So let's look at this table real quick. Can we find any zeros right now? Hey, look at that. So the y is 0 in this case. So we actually found our x-intercept. So our x-intercept in this case, it's 7, 0. It was that easy. Now, but the real challenge is, how do you find the y-intercept? How do you find this one? Well, once again, we know the y-intercept, it's when x is 0. Is that 0 on the x somewhere? It's not visible, but if the numbers go in order, where is the 0? Well, it's going to be right here, wouldn't it? To find the 0, guys, we have to go with a bigger table. Let's go ahead and set up a table here. X and Y. Let's go with, we wanted it at 0, so let's start at 0. Let's go 1, 2, 3, and let's go 4 and 5. Well, what about we fill up the numbers we do know? At 1, we have a -9. At 3, we have a -3. No, I'm sorry. At 3, we have a -6. And at 5, we have a -3. Well, let's put some boxes to numbers we don't know. Right there, and right there. Notice that there are no numbers next to each other, so it's going to make it a little harder for us. But no biggie. Look at these numbers. From -9 to -6. What did I do to the -9 to make it a -6? Yeah, don't we add a 3? Use a calculator, guys. -9 plus 3 is actually -6. Well, if you want to get to this box, notice this was a double jump. This was a double jump. So if you want to do just one jump, it's half of 3, right? Well, what's half of 3? We're actually adding 1.5. We're adding 1.5. So what's -9 plus 1.5? It's -7.5. Because, guys, if we were to do it again plus another 1.5, wouldn't that be -6? You got it. Let's keep checking, though, just to play it safe. What happens if we do another plus 1.5? Wouldn't that be -4.5? Let me do that in red. -4.5. Check with the calculator. And if we do it one more time, plus 1.5, well, isn't that -3? You got it. So we found a pattern, but there is one more trick, guys. Notice we were constantly going. Ooh, sorry about that. I had to sneeze. Notice that we're constantly going down, which was a plus 1.5. Now, use your common sense here, guys. If we're going to go up the opposite way, instead of doing a plus 1.5, we're going to do a minus 1.5 because we're going the opposite way. Well, at -9, if we want to do just one up, what's going to be minus 1.5? -9 minus 1.5, use a calculator. That will be -10.5. And we found our y-intercept. Our y-intercept is 0, -10.5. And that's the y-intercept. We found the x-intercept, the y-intercept, and that's the way you do it.